Good day, everyone. My name is Matthew Figueroa, and I am one of the reporters in this topic. So, this topic is entitled Teaching Speaking. So, I am with my group mates, uh, Mr. Jose Ga and Miss Lady Garcinez. So, bear with us as we discuss to you the contents of this topic teaching and learning speaking. So, speaking well involves different parts according to Ga and Burns. So, knowing the language. This means understanding how to say words correctly, using grammar and vocabulary properly, and organizing speech in a way that makes sense in different situations. Next is speaking skills. So it's about talking fluently by processing speech quickly and starting conversations, taking turns, and expressing intentions clearly. And the next one is communication strategies. So this is about finding ways to communicate effectively, like using gestures, finding alternative words, and using for clarification when needed. So by this, teachers should create learning opportunities that help students improve in these areas. They should also pay attention to students' needs and guide them in becoming better speakers. So it is important for students to not only speak well but also listen attentively and respond effectively to what others say as mentioned by Ellis. So Go and Burns introduced a teaching model called the speaking cycle. As discussed by Burns, this model suggests that teaching speaking is an ongoing process that should be spread spread out over multiple lessons or a unit of work rather than rush through in just one or two sessions. Teaching Speaking Cycle by Go and Burns. The teaching speaking cycle, as outlined by Burns, consists of 7 stages aimed at enhancing learners' speaking skills and overall communication abilities. So here is a breakdown of each stage. So first stage is focus learners' attention on speaking. This initial stage involves preparing students for speaking tasks by encouraging them to plan for their overall speaking development. It includes discussing difficulties encountered while speaking and ways to improve speaking ability. The next stage is provide input and guide planning. In this stage, teachers allow students to plan before the actual speaking task. So students are encouraged to choose topics of interest, gather relevant vocabulary, and plan their speech by organizing ideas, supporting details, and connecting phrases. The third one is conduct speaking tasks. So teachers provide speaking tasks for students to practice. Students focused on practicing speaking with an emphasis on fluency and expression, building on the planning done in the previous stage. So the fourth stage is focused on language skills or strategies. This stage aims to improve language accuracy and enhance the effective use of skills and strategies. Teachers guide learners on pronunciation, grammar, text structures, and vocabulary to enhance their speaking abilities. The fifth one is repeat speaking tasks. Students revisit the speaking tasks from stage 3, incorporating the language items and skills practiced in stage 4. At this stage, allows learners to apply their knowledge to enhance their performance. Next is stage 6, direct learners' reflection on learning. So, learners are encouraged to reflect on their speaking experiences. Reflection can be done individually, in groups, or pairs, focusing on the demands of speaking tasks, useful strategies, self-assessment of capabilities, areas of improvement, and plans for enhancement. And the last stage is facilitate feedback on learning. In this stage, teachers provide feedback on students' performance in speaking tasks using qualitative comments, grades, narratives, rubrics, and other assessment measures. This feedback helps students identify strengths, areas for improvement, and guides them in enhancing their speaking skills. So that's all for my part. Next chapter, please.
So now let's proceed. The introduction to Kaya's suggestions in teaching speaking emphasizes the importance of effective communication skills in language learning. It highlights the significance of speaking proficiency in enabling learners to express themselves, interact with others, and engage in meaningful conversations. The introduction likely sets the context for the suggestion provided by Kai, emphasizing the role of teachers in facilitating speaking practice and encouraging students to develop their speaking abilities. It may also discuss the challenges faced by both teachers and students in the process of teaching and learning speaking skills, as well as the benefits of incorporating interactive and communicative activities in language classrooms. These is likely serve as a foundation for the comprehensive suggestions that follow, guiding teacher on how to create a supportive and engaging environment for enhancing students' speaking proficiency. So based on Kai's suggestions in teaching speaking, here are the key points that teachers should consider. So first, provide a rich environment for speaking. As a, as a teacher, we need to create opportunities for students to speak by incorporating collaborative work, authentic materials, tasks, and shared knowledge. For example, in a classroom, students engage in a group discussion about a current event using authentic news articles as reading materials. They work collaboratively to analyze the information and share their opinions on the topic. Second, involve every student. We need to ensure that each student participate in speaking activities to promote engagement and practice. So, during a role-playing activity, for example, each student in the class is assigned a specific role to act out a scenario. This ensures that every student actively participates in the speaking exercise. Third is to balance teacher and student speaking time. As a teacher, we need to reduce speaking time and then encourage the students to speak more by stepping back and observing their interaction. In a scenario, the teacher facilitates a debate among students on a controversial topic, allowing students to express their opinions while the teacher takes a step back to observe and provide guidance when needed. Fourth is to offer them a positive feedback. Providing them a positive feedback to encourage motivate students when commenting on their responses. After after student gives a presentation, just like our example earlier, the teacher praises their clear articulation and effective use of vocabulary, highlighting specific strengths in the student's speaking performance. So now let's proceed to the fifth part, is the usage of the eliciting questions. Prompt students to speak more by asking questions that encourage them to elaborate on their thoughts and reasoning. When discussing a complex concept, the teacher asks students to probing questions such as can you explain your reasoning further? Those are some example of probing questions to encourage them to elaborate on their ideas and engage in deeper conversation. The sixth one is to provide written feedback. So, by giving written feedback to acknowledge students' effort and strength in their speaking performance. Just like earlier, we need to give students feedback. But this time, we gonna give them a written feedback to acknowledging students' effort and strength in their speaking performances. After a speaking task, just like a debate earlier, the teacher provides written feedback on a student's performance, commending their confident delivery and and suggesting areas for improvement in organizing their ideas. Next is the pronunciation correction. We need to avoid correcting pronunciation mistakes excessively during speaking activities to maintain students' focus on communication. For instance, during a speaking activity, the teacher notes pronunciation errors but focuses on providing corrective feedback after the student has finished speaking to avoid interrupting their flow of speech. 8 is the monitoring student progress. So we need to circulate around the classroom to monitor students' progress, offer assistance, and ensure they are on the right track during group or even in a pair work. For example, while students work in pairs to complete a speaking task, the teacher circulates around the classroom, listening to student interactions, offering guidance, and also ensuring that each pair stays on task. Next is the pre-teach vocabulary. Provide necessary vocabulary before speaking activities to support students in expressing themselves effectively. So, for instance, or example, before a debate on environmental issues, the teacher introduced key vocabulary related to the topic to help students effectively express their arguments and ideas during the discussion. Then, let's proceed to the last one, which is to address students' challenges. So, we need to identify and address problems faced by students who struggle to express themselves in the target language by offering additional practice opportunities. So, just like in this scenario, a student who struggled with expressing opinions in English received additional speaking practice through one-on-one sessions with the teacher to build confidence and improve communication skills in the target language. So, that's it. These are all the Kaya suggestions to aim and to create a supportive and interactive learning environment that enhances students' speaking skills, encourages active participation, and fosters effective communication in the target language. So that will be my part. Thank you everyone, and let's proceed to the next reporter.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Lady Las R. Garcinez, so I'm going to report the speaking test. For many years and even until now, English language teachers have continued to teach speaking through repetitive drills or memorization of dialogues. The goal of teaching speaking is to make students express themselves correctly and effectively to be understood. To teach speaking communicatively is to provide varied speaking tasks that enable students to communicate in real-life scenarios. The main aim of speaking tasks is to help students develop fluency. To develop students' speaking skills, they need intensive practice. So, develop students' speaking skills, it is important to provide them with opportunities for intensive practice. This can be achieved through a variety of activities that facilitate speaking practices. Also, this helps students express their ideas and thoughts clearly and promotes critical thinking. This helps students develop fluency, accuracy, and confidence in expressing themselves in English. By focusing in communicative speaking tasks and providing intensive practice, English language teachers can effectively enhance their students' speaking abilities. Below are some examples of speaking tasks that teachers can employ in their classes. So, number one is discussion. A discussion is carried out to arrive at a conclusion, to share ideas about an event, or to find solutions. The teacher needs to orient the students on the purpose of the discussion so time will not be wasted on talking about other things. A discussion is a valuable tool for students to actively engage with a topic, share ideas, and collaborate towards a common goal. It provides an opportunity for students to explore different perspectives and analyze information and arrive at a conclusion or solution. The teacher is essential in helping the students understand the goal of the conversation and preventing time waste and maintaining focus. This can be achieved by outlining specific goals and expectation at the outset of the conversations. Number two, your last word is mine. The first student starts telling a story and another continues using the last word, uttered by the first student. Then another student continues until the whole story is finished. So this activity encourages creativity, collaboration, and active listening skills. To begin the game, the first student starts by telling a part of a story. They can set the scene, introduce characters, or describe an event. Once they finish speaking, the next student continues the story by using the last word spoken by the previous student as a starting point of their own contribution. So number three, short speeches. Given a time frame, students are given a topic and deliver a speech before the class. So students must complete this task by giving a speech in front of the class within a set amount of time and on a given topic. The teacher gives each students a topic to speak on before starting. The themes can be broadly related to promote critical thinking and expression, or they can be tied to the subject matter being taught. In addition, the instructor could offer instruction or particular goals for the speech, such as enlightening, persuading, or sharing personal experiences. Number four, guess the picture. One student has the picture and the partner needs to guess what's in the picture by asking probing questions and clarifications. So, guess the picture is a collaborative exercise where a student holds a picture and their partner attempts to identify what's in it by posing insightful queries and looking for explanations. Students' critical thinking, good communication, and teamwork are encouraged by this practice. So number five, role play. In role play, students pretend they are in various social contexts and have a variety of social rules. This exercise will encourage the students to speak in real life situations. So role play is a useful teaching tool that pushes students to communicate in authentic contexts. By putting students in various social positions and having them participate in simulated settings, it helps them improve their vocabulary, speaking abilities, fluency, and self-assurance when speaking the language. So, students interview an interesting personality in the community and report to the class the results of the interview. So, interview involves students conducting interviews with interesting personalities in their community and then reporting the result to the class. This activity promotes research skills, active listening, effective communication, and provides students with a deeper understanding of their community and the people in it. Number six, narrating or telling a friend about an amusing weekend experience. Narrating or telling a friend about an amusing weekend experience is a way to share the fun and laughter that you experience with someone close to you. The key is to provide specific details, use engaging language, and add descriptive elements to make the narration lively and enjoyable for your friend. Number seven, playing games that engage students in conversation. Playing games that engage students in conversation provides an interactive and enjoyable way for them to practice and develop their communication skills. These games encourage active participation, critical thinking, and collaboration. They create a supportive and engaging learning environment where students can express themselves, build confidence, and improve their language abilities. And lastly, number 8, conducting class debates. Students who lead class arguments improve their research skills, critical thinking, and polite conversational skills. In addition to their public speaking abilities, it promotes involvement and develops a deeper comprehension of difficult subjects.
So that would be the content of our video, and we hope that you learned something from us. So we're gonna leave you a famous saying from Henry Adams: "A teacher affects eternity. He can never tell where his influence stops." This quote beautifully encapsulates the profound and lasting impact that teachers have on their students, emphasizing how their influence extends far beyond the classroom and into eternity. It conveys the idea that teaching is a noble profession that shapes individual. So that would be all, and thank you. God bless everyone.